fighting for that last playoff spot, not really having to worry about the Panthers being involved in it at all. They have a chance to clinch a playoff spot on Monday night when they face Nashville in the Music City. So that'll be a fun 2-game series. I mean, Florida, they're going to have some tests. They've got today against Carolina. They've got another 2 games that they wrap up the season against Tampa. They've got Dallas. They've got 2 against Chicago. They've got 2 against Nashville. All these teams have something to fight for. They're done with Detroit and Columbus. And this is good, I think. It's good to be tested night in and night out, to keep that intensity level raised heading into the postseason. Panthers morning skate going on right now, a few miles to the west of me over at the BB&T Center. Looking like Chris Streeter is going to get the start tonight. He's been day-to-day for the last few days with a lower body injury, but Coach Quenville kind of indicated that it was nothing to be overly concerned with. And sure enough, he's on the ice this morning and in the starter's crease. So that's a good sign as the Panthers get set to hopefully draw blood in one last game against Carolina. We'll talk about Thursday's game in a couple of minutes, but another good sign is Noah Chari stating this morning. Panthers website reporter Jamison Olive sending out the tweet, Noah Chari. So getting him back just gives you a little bit more oomph into the forward ranks, which is nice. Nice. So yeah, Thursday night, big home game, tied for the division. There's nothing really more to say. Everybody knew what the stakes were going in. Florida played a really solid first period when both teams are going to be hungry, and then they really just kind of shit the bed in the middle frame, which is usually their best period. They're one of the leaders in second period goal differential this season. They've been one of the best. So that was interesting. And then they went out and dominated the third period for the most part, but just couldn't claw back, couldn't do anything on the power play. That was really, it's been the issue with Carolina all season, has been the special teams battle, whether it be Carolina's power play, consistently scoring on Florida, which they did again on Thursday, 1 for 3, or whether it's their penalty kill, which has absolutely dominated the Panthers, like total and utter domination. Florida 1 for 9 on the power play on Thursday. Their 1 came on a 2-man advantage. Meanwhile, Carolina scored 2 shorthanded goals, including the game-winning goal. Both of them were by Sebastian Aho. What really amazed me, again, about Carolina, and it's interesting that they really bring it to another level when they play the Panthers, is how aggressive their forwards are without the puck. They've got to be one of the best teams in the league when they don't have the puck, just because they're so confident and so aggressive. They're really well coached positionally, and it shows. And you see it against the Panthers a lot, not so much. Like, they have lapses against others, as all teams do. Carolina, they don't have their best effort every game, but they sure have against the Panthers every game. Whether it's the work they put in without the puck, the work they put in on the penalty kill, which I guess is also without the puck. You got to think this is one of the hardest working teams in the league, if not the hardest working team in the league. Rod Brindamore has these guys firing on all cylinders, and they're definitely a team to watch out for. I was questionable about their goaltending heading into the season. They've proved that wrong. Whether it's been, in fact, they lost Peter Mrazek, their starter, for like half the season he was out, and a big credit to Nedeljkovic, who was one of the best goalies in the AHL, coming in and really steadying that ship for Carolina. Because James Reimer, look, we're familiar with James Reimer down here. He's not that guy. He's just not. Great guy, but he's not that Bull starter. So Carolina, I'm just hoping that Florida can avoid them in the first round, get a little momentum, get a playoff win in a series win for the first time in 25 years, and then go play Carolina. Get a little confidence. I mean, basically, if the Panthers can just not shoot themselves in the foot, stay out of the penalty box, convert on the power play, just do those things right. The simple things to winning a hockey game. That's really what it takes to compete with Carolina. They just make it so hard to do that. Coach Quenneville tells the media that Chris Streeter will start tonight. Noel Acciari will not play tonight. He'll be expected to rejoin the lineup rather, on Monday in Nashville. That's the plan. Q has said. All right. Talk a little bit about this new 9-1-1 line that Sam Bennett is centering with Huberdeau and Duclair. It's been nice to see something finally ignite the flame of Jonathan Huberdeau and Anthony Duclair over the past couple of weeks. Duclair was working his way back from an injury. Huberdeau was just kind of in a very ebb and flow season, and in the middle, the last few weeks of kind of a downtrot. But he's picked it up of late. I think he has a 5 or 6 game point streak going right now with a pair of goals. So it's good to see Huberdeau on that kind of a run. But you really just got to be happy with the acquisition of Sam Bennett. He's really fit in nicely. And according to Jameson Olive also tweeting that Bennett was getting some work on the first power play unit. So that can be an interesting little wrinkle as we head into tonight's game. It raises a question when I think of the Sam Bennett acquisition. And it's only been, 4 games now? But has a trade acquisition fit in this well since Jaromir Jagr was acquired back in 2015? Jagr got here, went right on that line with Huberdeau and Barkov, and they took off and did not come back down. We'll see if Bennett has that kind of a lasting impression, but so far it has been really good to see. And he'll be here, for at least another year or two, you would think. He's RFA. Bill Zito said when they traded for him that the plan was to keep him for a while, so I'm good with that. Again, 4 games, small sample size, but we know what this kid can do. Former 4th overall pick, a proven playoff performer. Another interesting impact from the trade deadline acquisitions, defenseman Brandon Montour came in for a 3rd-round pick from Buffalo. And he was paired up initially out of the gate with Marcus Nucciavaro, which kind of, it kind of made me raise an eyebrow just because Montour comes in expected to kind of play a lot of minutes to help alleviate the loss of Aaron Ekblad. And so then they pair him up with a guy in Nucciavaro who's been in and out of the lineup, battled injuries earlier in the season. Nucciavaro is looking better than he has in a Panthers uniform since he's been paired up with Brandon Montour. His D-zone positioning has been much more consistent. He's in the right place. He's not getting caught puck watching with his back to the play. Noticeably keeping the puck moving in the offensive zone, whether it be jumping into the play, whether it be hanging onto the puck at the blue line, getting the puck to the net with more effectiveness and efficiency. He looks like a new player, and it's almost like Florida acquired 2 guys in one with this Montour acquisition. Just another move by Bill Zito that has, at least in short order, paid off quite well. And Montour himself, very solid defensively. Can you think of any instances where he's really gotten caught out? No. He's physical, especially around the boards. So that physical element to his game, because he's an offensive defenseman for sure. He can move the puck. He's a good puck handler. He looked good on the Panthers' second power play unit a couple of games ago. Had that tough lapse when he got a look on the first power play unit on Thursday against Carolina with the 2-on-0. Yikes. We'll see if he gets. I would imagine he's going to get some more looks in the power play. It's an area he's excelled. We'll see how that plays out. Another thing that happened earlier this week that got a lot of attention was Spencer Knight. The Panthers, I guess not just the Panthers, but one of the best goalie prospects in all of hockey. Got his first NHL start on Tuesday, made 33 saves in a win over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Looked solid. Very solid. Wasn't called on to make any spectacular saves. Even though he made 33 saves, it really didn't feel like he made 33 saves. It felt like he made more like 23 saves. But that's just because he was very solid. Rebound control was a little out of control at times. And I just think that's because he was relying pretty heavily on his reflexes. You could see. Look, the game it's another level in the NHL. It's a speed unlike anything that any other hockey league, whether it's professionally, whether it's amateur, as college, whatever. The NHL is just it's a whole new beast. And Spencer Knight handled that quite well. He was very poised and very in control. But there are definitely some areas that could be refined and worked on. And the fact that he can look so good at such a young age with no NHL experience, step right in and play that solidly, I mean, a huge testament to what this kid is. But to say that he goes right in there and this is the guy, I'm ready to give him other starts, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. He's still just 20 years old. He turned 20 on Monday. So, it's pump the brakes a little bit. You should feel very good about Spencer Knight, but I'm certainly not in that crowd of people that are insisting that he should be getting more starts. He perhaps should take over as the start. Guys, just relax. Enjoy the fact that Florida's got a Bob playing very well, especially compared to last year, and they've got Chris Driedger coming back from injury as well. All right, we're going to hit the break. On the other side, we'll get to my chirp of the week. We'll go around the pond, and then later in the show, Sarah Sivian from The Athletic does an amazing job covering the Hurricanes. She'll be joining me, and we'll get into tonight's game. Heat and NBA fans, catch Ira Winderman here exclusively at OnsideRadio.com with our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat reports. Catch Ira throughout the week at OnsideRadio.com, and when news breaks, basketball fans know Onside Radio is the place you get the insight you need.
You're listening to Chirping the Cats Radio with David Work. Take Onside Radio, your home for soccer everywhere, with a MyTuner radio app. Find the app at OnsideRadio.com. South Florida's home for real sports talk.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. First responders are people who stand for a greater purpose. They will be there for you when nobody else is, to help you, your family, your community. This is their selfless promise. This is their sworn duty to protect, to serve, to help. They put themselves in harm's way for us. They come to the rescue at times when we need them most. First responders are making enormous personal sacrifices to keep showing up for us and fighting the good fight. Nearly 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. That means when they get injured or quarantined, they may not have a way to pay their rent or keep their family safe and fed. No matter who you are or where you live, when you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org and make a difference today.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no, here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping. Cook, clean. Be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome back to Chirping the Cats Radio. To reach out to David, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Here's Florida Panthers insider David Dwork.
You can watch Onside Radio daily by subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Search Onside Radio, log on, subscribe, rate, and review Onside Radio on YouTube and Twitch. OnsideRadio.com, South Florida's home for real sports talk. All right, rolling along here in Chirping the Cats Radio. Don't forget, next segment, going to talk to Sarah Sivian of The Athletic, who does an amazing job covering the Carolina Hurricanes. Got some good questions for her. Going to check in on the other side of the curtain and see how things are going over there. Going to get to the chirp of the week shortly, as I think you guys are going to kind of agree with what I'm chirping about this week. Before I get to that, I wanted to mention Nikita Gusev slowly but surely fitting in with the Panthers. I was very bullish on his acquisition, on his signing. Thought it was a great move for the Panthers. And he's getting more comfortable and more confident as the ice time increases, as he gets a little bit more familiar. I love the fact that he's been skating with Sasha Barkov, and the two of them are really developing a nice rapport as Barkov. You know, we know that Barkov is a playmaker. We know that he's elite. But when he has somebody that he can play off of on the ice, it makes him and his line mates that much better. Gusev has shown a little bit of flash and flair with the puck, which he's known to do. I mean, this is, you know, he's led the KHL in scoring. He's what does he have, like 44 points in 60 games or something like that last year. So we know that the guy can produce. Something I really liked about Gusev last game against Carolina was, more than any other time that he's been here, I saw him getting a lot more involved in his own zone. Defensively, I think perhaps he's getting coached up a bit in that regard with not just the puck possession game, but also going back in defense. So that was good to see from Gusev. And something that I could see Coach Quenneville doing, perhaps, when needed, is putting a line out there of Barkov, Huberdeau, and Gusev. That's an amazingly capable offensive trio. And you know how Q likes to, you know, whether it's a game where Florida needs a spark, whether they're trying to come from behind, that's something that I could see happening, whether it be in the playoffs or sooner than that. So, all right. Are we good to do some chirping, Abel? All right, I got the thumbs up. Let's do the chirp of the week.
Hey, son, you're a disappointment to your parents.
What are you doing? Working on my trash talk.
It's time for the chirp of the week.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You can pick the hand I beat the out of you with. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't think so.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
That's so funny. The last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur.
All right. Simple question. At what point does Keith Yandel actually get benched? And look, anybody that's followed me in my work for a while knows that I've been a fan of Keith Yandel because I get what he's brought to the table. I get where his level of expertise is. His play has dropped this year, And I don't want to say significantly dropped, but enough to where the non-production offensively compared to past seasons, that's what makes up for his defensive liability. That's what makes up for the lapses in his own end, or even at the offensive blue line. But when you're not putting up the points and you're not kind of alleviating that, balancing it out, then what are you doing out there? For the threat? We're past that. What really has kind of stood out to me with Yandel are the things that he's done really well. Whether it's moving the puck at the offensive blue line, fluidity in the offensive zone, keeping the power play moving, acting as the quarterback for that. Haven't seen that at the elite level he's been known to do. Something that Yandel is very well known for is making these amazingly accurate long stretch passes from his own end, like behind his own goal line even, to catch streaking players through the neutral zone. Where's that been all season? It's just becoming too much of a liability defensively without the offensive production. That's just what it comes down to. He's been benched multiple times late in games where we've seen Coach Q just put him at the end of the bench and he just doesn't trust him. And granted, it's because Florida's been playing with the lead a lot in third periods. So, but again, if that's the kind of team Florida's going to be, maybe there's not a spot for him anymore. And I know he's beloved in the locker room. I know that the players went to bat for him earlier in the season when it looked like he was going to get healthy scratched. He's beloved. He's a great teammate. But at what point does the locker room say, look, we're in this to win a Stanley Cup? You're not carrying your friends. And maybe at this point they're trying to get to the playoffs where they can scratch him for every game and it doesn't mess with his Iron Man streak because, look, let's be clear. That is the only reason at this point that he has not been scratched is because of that Iron Man streak. I have no doubt in my mind that if it wasn't for that 914 consecutive game Iron Man streak that he's up to right now, that he's probably played half as many games this season. Assuming he plays tonight, which no reason to think he won't, he'll move into sole possession of second place, the longest all-time Ironman streak, passing Gary Unger. So tonight will be Yandel's 915th consecutive game, which would make him exactly 50 games shy of setting the all-time record. Doug Jarvis went 964 consecutive games. So for Yandel to go 965, he'd have to play 50 more games after tonight, which means the last 8 games of this season and then 43 next year. Can you stomach that, Panthers fans? It's a tough pill to swallow. We'll see how it plays out, but the more that I see his ice time go down, the more that I see him not getting called upon in crucial moments, when I see him faltering where he's excelled, just, what are we doing this for? The Stanley Cup, right? Not for records, not for personal accolades. A Stanley Cup. A banner in the rafters. All right. I've chirped enough. Some cool news that came out earlier this week for a lot of you fans that are hoping to catch the Panthers in the playoffs. Seating capacity will increase for the first round. Normal seating capacity is like 19,250-ish, in that range, depending on how they configure the bowl. This season, they've been allowing 25%, so roughly 4,800 fans a game. They're averaging just over 4,000, which I think is only behind Dallas for fan average this season. Dallas has been allowing a greater capacity, though. But that will go up to 47% for the first round of the playoffs. So about 9,000 fans. And it gets pretty loud with just what they have now. When on Thursday against Carolina, at one point in the third period when they almost tied it, Jonathan Huberdeau had a great chance to tie the game late. I remember thinking to myself how loud the crowd was in that moment. So just to think that they could double the fans for the playoffs, and at a time where other teams maybe have some fans, not a lot, and it's a newer thing. Only Florida and I think Dallas and Arizona are the only teams that have been doing it all season. So there's an edge there, no doubt, and it's nice that the Panthers will have that. Hopefully, most people are getting vaccinated. They'll be wearing their masks and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, it'll be nice to see the BB&T Center rocking as best it can for what we hope will be a long and prosperous run in the playoffs. The team said that that capacity could go up to 100% capacity at some point during the playoffs, which, I mean, look, it's kind of mind-boggling to think about when you take into consideration the last year plus we've had with sports and with coronavirus and all this stuff. But to think that a month or so from now that arena could be filled to capacity, there could be nearly 20,000 screaming Panthers fans watching them in the playoffs after everything we've been through for the last year and a half. It's got to bring a smile to your face. Good times. All right, we're going to hit the break. On the other side, we'll talk to Sarah Sivian of The Athletic, and we'll dive into the Carolina Hurricanes as well. And then if we have time afterwards, we'll go around the pond, do a little skating, or we'll do that before crosstalk. Either way, we'll fit it in there at some point. Hey, Saturdays from 1 to 3 p.m., baseball fans can go deep into the count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. Catch the show that talks Marlins and all the big stories in the major leagues. Every Saturday from 1 to 3, Seamheads of a New Home. Listen to Deep in the Count exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
You're listening to Chirping the Cats Radio with David Work. Take Onside Radio, your home for soccer everywhere, with a MyTuner radio app. Find the app at OnSideRadio.com. South Florida's home for real sports talk.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in, as long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
It's toast. When South Floridians need hurricane windows, there's only one crew to call, Brett and Tom at B&T Windows and Doors. They came to the crib last year, installed PGT windows and doors, and now I'm set. No more plywood, no more knuckle-busting wing nuts. PGT windows and doors will keep me and my family safe the next time a named storm comes rolling on through. Call B&T today, 954-233-0126, or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S., do me a favor, tell them you heard about them on OnSideRadio.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat Rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
Welcome back to Chirping the Cats Radio. To reach out to David, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's David Dwork.
You can now listen to Onside Radio anywhere and subscribe to your favorite podcast by downloading the Radio.net app. Download Radio.net in your app store. Search Onside Radio, where the South Florida sports fan calls home. All right, we're turning right along here, Chirping the Cats Radio, 10:35 a.m. on another beautiful Saturday morning. Panthers getting ready to host the Carolina Hurricanes tonight in what will be the last regular season matchup between these two teams. Perhaps they're destined for a playoff matchup. We'll see how everything plays out. But right now, I'm going to be joined by one of the best hockey journalists out there, I think. One of my favorite follows. Yes, Sarah, you are one of the best out there. Sarah Sivian of The Athletic. She covers the Hurricanes quite well, and the co-host of the Too Many Men podcast as well. Sarah, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm great. I'm excited for this game. How are you?
Yeah, I'm maybe not quite as excited as you are, just the way things have gone between these two teams. And really, right off the bat, that's what I want to ask you. From your perspective, what does Carolina do so well against the Panthers that they've really owned the series this year?
You know what? I was talking to somebody else about this before the game yesterday, and I couldn't put my finger on one specific thing. It's everything. And then you saw that with the shorthanded, even strength, and power play goal the Canes all managed to score last game. I feel like they're just firing on all cylinders, and I don't know what it is. I don't think it's anything that the Panthers are or aren't. I think that they really respect the Panthers as opponents. Rod Brindamore was talking about that the other day. So maybe they bring their A game against the Panthers.
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind as well, because I've watched a lot of the Hurricanes this year, and you've seen them sometimes, as any team will do. You know, they don't always come out with that amazing, intense effort. But against the Panthers, they seem to always, as you said, bring their A game. Something I've noticed with Carolina that maybe the novice hockey fan wouldn't know about when you talk about a guy like Sebastian Aho or Andrei Svechnikov. Obviously guys that are known for their amazing offensive skill, but they're a couple really feisty dudes, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I think that is exactly what they were going for at the trade deadline. And, I mean, a month before with Paquette and Hakanpää, they know they needed more snarl, and a guy like Rod Brindamore obviously is going to know that ahead of time and kind of recommend that they don't change much except get more of that kind of aggressive play in. And they've really been I think they've also learned from the past few playoffs that that's what they need. And you even see that in guys like Jake Gardner stepping up to fight. And not that it's all about fighting, but you have to be prepared for the physical aspect of the playoffs.
Yeah, you got to set the tone. And as you said, Carolina, they're a team that's been close in recent years. So if they could just kind of find those last couple of pieces, what makes a potential playoff matchup so scary. I have to ask you about Vincent Trocheck, obviously somebody that Panthers fans are very familiar with. Mm-hmm. He was a big personality in the Panthers locker room here, and I'm curious if you're getting the same kind of impression that he's having that kind of impact in Carolina.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoy interviewing him. You can tell he's a passionate guy. He cares, but he has other interests like music and stuff outside of hockey, and I love that kind of person. You know what I mean? And I've heard like great things about him from people I know in Pittsburgh, because obviously he grew up in Pittsburgh playing. So was excited to have him here and kind of talk to him, and he is not disappointed.
I'm guessing based on between his personality and just the production he's had this year, finally healthy, he must be becoming a fan favorite up there in Raleigh.
Yeah, they call him Young Tro. Some people call him Vinny Biscuits. I don't know. He's like the most efficient player of all time. Like, he has really filled kind of like a hole that the Canes have had that maybe they didn't even know that they had.
Yeah, that's the thing about Trocheck. I mean, now that he's back and healthy, finally able to bring that speed once again. I mean, hardcore effort. Guy gets his nose dirty every game. He's not afraid to mix it up, and amazing offensive skill. I mean, we've seen just against the Panthers some of the goals he's scored, whether it's on a fancy deflection, whether he's scoring from the corner by bouncing it off the goalie's back. He's really doing it all this year. Yeah, there's a big will to win there with him. It seems like there's a chip on his shoulder for whatever reason. Like, I don't know who angered him, but they will pay. Yeah, that's just Vinny. It's funny how he's kind of got that little persona. Something I definitely wanted to ask you about is the Carolina goaltending situation. It's something going into the season I thought would be their question mark, just because, Mrazek maybe not the most proven guy, and we're quite familiar with Reimer down here. But it seems like Mrazek has really taken off with that role when he's been healthy this year. But also, Nedeljkovic has been just an amazing find for Carolina this year. And I'm wondering, once the playoffs roll around, is Mrazek the starter, or has Nedeljkovic kind of earned a look in that role?
Yeah, that's the question of the hour, maybe the weeks, I guess. I feel like Brind'Amour trusts Mrazek over anyone, and that will be – I feel like it's going to be a fluid situation, and he keeps saying they're going to assess it day by day, and that's really what they're doing, and that's the approach they've taken. Like, it's not really – you can't really see a pattern in everything, and obviously that's because Mrazek has been dealing with injuries. But when he comes back, I expect it to be pretty much spread out between Mrazek and Nedeljkovic and Reimer getting in here and there. It's just great that they have so many options. Like, you saw Mrazek exit with a lower body injury, and it's not that serious, but they have options that they don't have to wear him out before the playoffs, and I feel like that's what they were going for with the 3-goalie thing.
Yeah, that's been so crucial this year, just across the board. I mean, you need to have that depth, whether it's goaltending or not. But Carolina's fortunate. Yeah. I'll definitely give that to them. Something I've noticed about the Hurricanes this year, they're so good without the puck. I haven't seen anybody that forechecks with the aggression of Carolina. Mm-hmm. And what do you think makes them so good at that? Is it just that they're so well coached and they know where each other are going to be, that they have the confidence to do it? I'm just trying to put my finger on why are they so good at that?
Yeah, if you've watched Rod Brind'Amour play ever, you could tell he's coaching this team. That's what their whole foundation is. It's defense and forecheck, and that's why you see so many offensive defensemen, even if it's unlikely source like Brett Pesce or even Hakanpää. Like, they jump the rush because they're so involved in the forecheck, and without the puck, that's how they generate offense too. And I feel like Rod Brind'Amour allows his players to make mistakes as long as they're playing hard, so they aren't like afraid of making a mistake and being benched. Like, they're benched if they don't really do anything.
Right. We're joined by Sarah Sivian of The Athletic, who does a great job covering the Carolina Hurricanes. Sarah, Carolina is the first team this season that's really appeared to have figured out what Florida's trying to do on the power play, particularly with their zone entries through the neutral zone. I feel like that's a testament to their coaching staff, because they've done their homework. They know who to cover, and they know how to disrupt those plays almost instantly. Does it surprise you to hear that their coaching staff has been on the ball like that?
No, also because every time I ask what practices have been like or what they're doing, it's like they're doing so much video that it's kind of making them sick. Like, they have been very, very heavy on watching the video this season, and I feel like that has definitely contributed to it. And also, they have one of the best. Chris Huffine is one of the best video coaches in the league, so credit to him for sure. And also, just their penalty kill in general is so good. And then they have some of their biggest defensive threats on it, which people aren't expecting them to be good defensively too, maybe, but they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen that particularly against the Panthers. It's almost like you want to decline the penalty at this point, because you know that you're probably not going to get much going offensively. But then the added bonus of worrying about giving up a shorthanded goal. It's just like that's how I was in the press box the other night. I'm like, can we just decline it football style? We're so much better 5-on-5 against Carolina. But
yeah, and then the Canes, it's like they're almost trying to get 12 penalties a game.
Yeah.
Did
you see
ridiculous.
The penalty box last game? I hadn't seen it that packed in a long time. There's 5 guys in there, and they had no worries in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the last thing I want to ask you before I let you go, and thank you again for joining me today. I don't know if there's actually an answer to this question. I'm hoping there is. What are the Hurricanes' weaknesses? How can they be beat? Is that something that we can figure out at this point?
I've been thinking about this a lot. They obviously have weaknesses. I feel like it's all mental, as it is with anybody else this season. I think it might be maybe getting Svechnikov off his game, because he's such a aggressive and hardy player. He plays with his heart, where he might get emotions maybe in the way. I don't know, maybe getting players off their game, but it's been so hard because they've been mentally tough this year. I feel like there's nothing. Martinook leaves, and then he's the main PKer, and they still, Brett Pesce and Slavin will play half a game and they'll still win. It's tough to pinpoint, but I think they have their off nights. I think maybe catching them off guard.
So getting lucky, basically. Yeah, we'll see.
No. We'll see tonight.
Sarah, I want to thank you so much for joining me. You can read Sarah's amazing work at The Athletic and listen to her podcast along with Allison Lucan and Shayna Dolman, the Too Many Men podcast. Very entertaining. I'm looking forward to a new episode. I hope you guys are going to have one soon.
Yeah, we are. We just keep the season. It's like a game. The years start coming and they don't stop coming, as Smash Mouth would say. Like, we're trying to figure out when our schedules align, but before the playoffs.
All right, well, you keep being an all-star, and hopefully we'll do this again in the playoffs.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
All right, Sarah Sivian, thank you so much. Again, check out her work at The Athletic. She does such a good job. So glad she was able to join me today, and I think definitely had some great insight into what the Carolina Hurricanes are up to. Abel, how about we take a break now, and then we can do Around the Pond on the other side. Does that work for you? Awesome. All right, we're going to take a break. On the other side, we'll go Around the Pond quickly, and then we will talk to Austin Robillard of Red Card Radio, who, I know you look a little tired, Austin. You've been watching a lot of soccer, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, he says. All right, we'll get to that on the other side of the break. Hey, catch a South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Dono hosts Man of the Match 3 to 6 p.m. every weekday. Dono covers everything from football to MMA. Tune into one of the most complete sports shows in the country with Man of the Match with Alex Dono 3 to 6 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
You're listening to Chirping the Cats Radio with David Work. Take Onside Radio, your home for soccer everywhere, with a MyTuner radio app. Find the app at OnsideRadio.com. South Florida's home for real sports talk.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At chaseroofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. Chaseroofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust chaseroofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Miami Dolphins fans, join us for OnsideRadio.com's NFL Draft Party at Sports Grill in Miami, 11481 Southwest 40th Street, Bird Road. Join Big O and Alex Dono for this two-night event starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, day 2 at 6:30. Drink and food specials, giveaways, and the best damn draft party in South Florida. Join us for a two-night event as OnsideRadio.com and Sports Grill on Bird Road bring you the best NFL draft party on the planet.
These are unprecedented times, challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors. But we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
A message to help keep you safe. If doctors told us today that we'd made a breakthrough on COVID-19, saving thousands of lives, We would rejoice. Finally, a good news day. We'd feel less afraid that our loved ones would be struck by the invisible enemy. We'd start to feel hope that we could live our lives again. Well, a mask does all that. We can help protect others by covering our noses and mouths, which is how the virus mainly spreads. Masks are a ticket to freedom, to be out in the world, to getting together, back to work, back to doing what we want. If doctors announced we could save lives today, we would grab that breakthrough with both hands. While we wait for a vaccine, grab the breakthrough that's already here. When we're out, it's masks on.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Chirping the Cats Radio. To reach out to David, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Here's Florida Panthers insider David Dwork.
Onside Radio continues to grow. To make your life easy, you can now find your favorite sports station by downloading the radio.net app. Download the free app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host, or catch a great Inter-Miami CF game like tonight when they're at the Philadelphia Union. Go to your app store, download radio.net, and search Onside Radio, the home for the South Florida sports fan. All right, we got the last segment going here. We're going to do a quick skate around the pond just as I want to touch on the division, and then we're going to hit some crosstalk with Austin Robillard as I got to drill him about Inter-Miami. But first, let's do an around the pond, Dable.
Lace up your skates. It's time to go around the pond on Chirping the Cats Radio.
All right, so real quickly, is Carolina starting to pull away with the Central Division crown? Because it sure looks like it. Right now, Carolina is sitting at the top of the Central Division with 67 points and still 10 games left to go. Florida's 2 points back with 2 less games played. Florida's 65 points and 8 games. And then Tampa's there too, 1 point behind Florida. Tampa's got 9 games left. So it's still anybody's game, but Carolina certainly has the inside track. Florida plays Carolina tonight. Florida plays Tampa twice to close out the season. There are no more games between the Hurricanes and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So everybody kind of holding their own cards at this point. Florida's loss on Thursday really killed their chance to hold their own. They're going to have to win tonight and get a little bit of help from Carolina. But again, as I said earlier, mainly just as long as Florida and Carolina finish 1-2 and they avoid each other in the first round, that's kind of where my head is at this point. The battle for fourth place, getting really intense, and it's going to be fun to watch, as I said earlier, that Florida's not involved in it. Nashville, right now, 4th place, playing really well the last month or so. Nashville's got 54 points and 7 games left. They had a huge win over Chicago last night. Chicago and Nashville played 3 games this week, and Nashville went 2-0-1, picking up 5 of a possible 6 points against Chicago, so that's huge. Nashville playing well and winning against the teams they need to beat. Now, Dallas is the team that I thought was going to take it. Dallas is right behind Nashville, 4 points back, but with 3 additional games to play than Nashville does. So Dallas has their own destiny in their own hands, as they say. And Chicago is still right there. They're 1 point behind Dallas, 5 points behind Nashville, 8 games to go. It's going to be really fun to watch this play out, with Florida particularly secured in the top 3. All right, now let's get to some crosstalk. I need to talk. This is like my weekly fix at this point. I need to talk a little soccer with Austin. Real quick, before we get into Inter-Miami, what the hell happened with the Super League? Like, it was so super for 48 hours, and then everybody, like, has there been anything this universally hated?
No.
Like, oh my God.
Not, other than, like, maybe cancer. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing been so universally hated, and I mean, thank goodness that the fans stepped up. They're stepping up right now. Actually, Manchester United fans are out at Old Trafford asking the owners to sell the club. They're protesting now. There's been protests throughout the week. I mean, what a mess.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to rant about it on the show today and why I hated it so much, and I was so passionate about it on Twitter and how much I hated it, because there's so many different aspects of it, and
you'd think they would have done some research, because nobody liked this thing.
No, not one person. But, you know, who did like it were the 12 owners who were going to make $400 million each after just signing a paper. So, you know, there's that aspect of it, but it would have really, really changed the spectrum of world football.
Yeah, and the traditional longtime fans that have been having that's what it really came down to,
right,
was the tradition. and honoring the past, keeping things as they are, which is, believe me, not often, I'm totally tripping on my words here, as infrequently as things change here in the U.S. regarding pro sports and their rules, it is much harder to change anything traditionally with soccer over in Europe and in Asia. So yeah, this Super League, what a shit show.
Just thank goodness. I hope it never happens.
All right, from one shit show to no, I'm just kidding. No, well, I'll say like last week against the Galaxy for Inter Miami, it looked like within the first maybe 5-10 minutes of the second half that they had control of that game, and then all of a sudden communication just fell apart on the back line, and I don't know what it was because I love LPG. Figal was great last year, but it looked like they were playing their first game with each other.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened past 60 minutes. I really don't. And after the game was over, in the press conference, or the Zoom press conference that everybody has now, they kind of, whether it was Neville or Higuain or Robbie Robinson, they all, pointed to fatigue and tiredness and the lack of preseason. And I think you did see a switch. He says it's not an excuse, it's just a fact. That's what Neville said. It's not an excuse, it's just a fact. Like, he knows his players are going to get tired. That's why he made some, not radical substitutions, but substitutions you didn't expect.
I thought Pizarro came out a little early.
Me too, but he was very tired. And that's what Neville
It's
said.
not like it's not like Inter Miami was their only team that had these disadvantages. Like LA Galaxy.
LA played about 6 preseason games against MLS teams. Miami played 2 not against MLS teams.
Okay.
Against USL teams, and I think that's where they were kind of going.
I didn't realize it was such a huge disparity.
It was a big difference, and I think he said the reason that Pizarro came. Well, first Pizarro was shifted off to the left wing because they didn't want him on the ball as much because he couldn't do much. He needed to go out there just to be there in case they needed him. And then once that wasn't working, they subbed him out. That's what happened. He was trying to save his legs. And same thing with Lewis Morgan. When he came out early, it was like he didn't have a great game, but like you still want that guy on the pitch.
No, you could see Morgan was not his usual self. He's so fast under normal circumstances, and that speed died out really quick.
It didn't seem to be the same, and I think that throughout the season it'll pick up. But I really liked what I saw in the first 45 minutes, even though it wasn't exactly what I expected, because I expected a high-intensity, pressuring football team when out there, I just saw them containing LA Galaxy perfectly. For the first 45 minutes, LA Galaxy could not break down Inter Miami. Not at all.
And they were getting runs. They were making plays. Like, it was really, that was what you would want to see from a Neville coach team, is what you were expecting. It's just a shame that it kind of fizzled out so soon.
Yeah.
And you have to think that if the fatigue is an issue, it's not going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take a few weeks for them to really get going.
And I'm okay with that, considering the fact that the Open Cup is being canceled. I had a lot of pressure on these first 3 games because that was going to be your qualification for the Open Cup. And now that that's not going to be a thing in 2021, I'm kind of like, okay, 34-game season.
Yeah.
Take a couple weeks in the beginning to figure yourselves out. I have trust in Neville, and I trust him to do the right thing and figure this out. But like you said, it's going to take a couple weeks, and I don't think that fans should be too crazy about it. Just let's go for the ride.
Yeah, look, I just want to see a better performance this season. Obviously, I want to see another playoff, perhaps a playoff victory. Like, we'll see how the season progresses, because they're probably going to bring in 1 or 2 other international guys at some point. You would think
in the summer.
Summertime.
Yeah, we got 2 people coming in the summer, so there you go right there. And then maybe something else happens, a trade. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, one surprise I've had before we wrap it up is the midfielder. Is it Gregory? Is it Grigori? I don't know. But I really liked what I saw from him. I thought he brought some life to the midfield, whether it was defensively or pushing the pace. Really a nice find in an area that they needed some help.
100%. It's going to help Matuidi a lot too, which we want to see. We want to see Matuidi have that help, so all the pressure's not on him. And Grigori, whatever you want to call him, did it perfectly. I said he's going to be the best signing in MLS all over. I mean, the entire league. I think this is our best. This is the best signing in the league. And I don't think that it was lived down. I thought it was a really good performance. I think he's only going to pick it up from here.
Yeah, he stood out to me. I liked what I saw. I'm looking forward to seeing them play tonight against the Philadelphia Union. What do you got coming up on your show today?
I'm going to spend a whole hour talking Inter Miami. Then I'm going to rant about the Super League, not the Champions League. I might even rant about the Champions League and how bad the new format is, and then I'm going to round up some European football. Right now, Bayern Munich is actually losing 2-0 in the 70th minute, so big stuff happening in Europe all across. So I got a big show lined up.
All right, you're going to catch it all with Austin Robillard coming up on the other side of the break. Red Card Radio taking you until 1 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for listening. Abel, the producer, doing an amazing job. Thank you. Thanks to Sarah Sivian once again for joining the show, and we will catch you guys next Saturday. Until then, you stay cool.
WLESPN.
That's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It's toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on Onside Radio.
Inter Miami CF fans, Onside Radio is the place to guide you through the 2021 season. Go to our website at OnSideRadio.com and download any of our apps to listen to your favorite team. OnSideRadio.com is your home for La Rosa Negra.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in, as long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
It's toast. When South Floridians need hurricane windows, there's only one crew to call, Brett and Tom at B&T Windows and Doors. They came to the crib last year, installed PGT windows and doors, and now I'm set. No more plywood, no more knuckle-busting wing nuts. PGT windows and doors will keep me and my family safe the next time a named storm comes rolling on through. Call B&T today, 954-233-0126, or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S., do me a favor, tell them you heard about them on OnSideRadio.com.
Are you ready?
Guayin had a window but leaves it here for Morgan. In for some strike. It's into the top corner. And Lewis Morgan has got a brace again.
The passion.
Goal! Captain Morgan! What a shot! What a blood! What a missile!
Onside Radio is prepared for another Inter Miami CF campaign. Catch the games. Go to our website and download the apps. On your home for La Rosa Negra, OnSideRadio.com.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Miami Dolphins fans, join us for OnSideRadio.com's NFL Draft Party at Sports Grill in Miami, 11481 Southwest 40th Street, Bird Road. Join Big O and Alex Dono for this 2-night event starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, day 2 at 6:30. Drink and food specials, giveaways, and the best damn draft party in South Florida. Join us for a 2-night event as OnSideRadio.com and Sports Grill on Bird Road bring you the best NFL Draft Party on the planet.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last.
To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
Onside Radio continues to grow to make your life easier. You can now find your favorite sports station by downloading the Radio FM app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host or catch a great Inter Miami CF match. Go to your app store, download Radio FM, and search Onside Radio, the home for the South Florida sports fan. At Onside Radio, we're your home for all sports, and we give gaming culture the platform it deserves.
Microsoft is currently taking part in negotiations to acquire Discord, the gamers' chat app, for $10 billion. As someone who frequently uses Discord, I sincerely hope that Microsoft just builds on what Discord is already doing, as opposed to trying to turn it for a profit and start charging all of us users who enjoy using the now free app.
Keep up with the latest in gaming and e-news daily. Subscribe to Onside Radio on most platforms. Your home for gamers worldwide. OnsideRadio.com.
This is how we do it at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 Acura dealer 11 years in a row. 2021 RDX $339 a month. $339 at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard is on. To reach out to Austin, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. The text line is 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Lining up for that pressure kick, here's your host, Austin Robillard with Red Card Radio.
All right, everybody. Welcome. All right, and we are live. I don't know if this is going to be a pre-game / post-game / I did, yeah. Pre-game / post-game for Inter Miami, but I want to talk so much about the club. Obviously, a bunch has gone on. This is my first show leading, or I guess post-game, or having a game played. This is exciting stuff. It's going to be a good episode here of Red Card Radio. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm also going to go on and talk about Super League and Europe in general in the second hour, hopefully, if we have time. I want to spend a decent amount of time on Inter Miami because I am sitting in Drive Pink Stadium where they did play the LA Galaxy. That ended up being a loss 3-2, and then they just flew out to Philadelphia couple hours ago. They're heading to Subaru Park now to play their game at about 8 o'clock. But with start times in America when it comes to sports, they tend to run very late. And as in like 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know why that is, by the way. Why is it that start times are not start times? I don't get it. In Europe, when a game says 6 o'clock, boom, done, 6 o'clock, it's kickoff. Here, not so much, and it's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. Same thing, like, and with the lineups too. Like, I don't get my Inter Miami lineups an hour before kickoff. I get them, 30 minutes in England, or at least in every other league in Europe. It seems like I get my lineups in about an hour before. No, exactly an hour before. That's when they're released to the public. So I don't know. It's kind of a mess. American sports are American sports, and luckily European sports aren't going to be becoming American sports, as they almost did this week. So thank goodness. But we'll get into that later on. Like I said, I want to spend time on Inter Miami, and let's talk about this